We're going to begin talking about the essays with some general information today, and then separately we'll describe the SAT and the ACT essay tests. On both tests, you'll have limited time to complete your essay, and on both tests, a few small errors in grammar, spelling, or punctuation will not count against you. Test writers want to see that you can analyze the passage and prompt and respond with a well-organized essay illustrating your points with examples. You will have 4-lined pages on which to write. You can print or write in cursive, whichever will be more legible. Use the space provided in the official SAT study guide and the real ACT prep guide to practice your draft essays online, or you can practice them on lined notebook paper. Either one will work. Now let's talk about a winning strategy. Step 1 is to focus on the prompt. That's pillar 4, focus on the question. Make sure your essay responds to the passage and the prompt. Underline key ideas as you read the passage and the prompt. Circle words you want to find easily later. Write in the margins to help you identify material for your essay. Make sure you understand the dimensions of the prompt and its complexity. Step 2, decide how to organize the essay. Make a quick list of points you want to make and then organize them. Maybe you'll just number them. They don't have to be set out in order when you're putting your notes down. Determine the focus of each paragraph. You'll probably have 4 or 5 of them. Then create a thesis statement that captures your central point and sets up the organization of your essay. This thesis statement is the most important sentence in your opening paragraph. Typically, it occurs first or last. Here are 2 examples of thesis statements for the SAT and 2 for the ACT on the same topic that make a point and set up the organization for the essay. You'll see that they each take a different approach because the focus of writing the essays on these 2 tests is different. We'll talk about the prompts in other videos. In short, your task on the SAT is to analyze what techniques the author has used to try to persuade readers. That's your focus. So here's a sample thesis statement for the SAT. Mr. Johnson's articulate argument that all cyclists should be required to wear helmets is supported by data, experts, and actual examples of crash outcomes. You can see this thesis statement sets up the essay to discuss in the 2nd paragraph data, in the 3rd paragraph the experts cited, and in the 4th paragraph actual examples. The 5th paragraph will be the conclusion. Of course, you can organize your essay in a different way. Just make certain you address the prompt, citing material from the passage, and you set up your paragraph's organization. On the ACT, your task is different. It's to analyze different perspectives on 2 conflicting values and to explain your own position. So here's an example of an ACT thesis statement. Freedom and safety can conflict as they do when cyclists want to ride without helmets. However, the overarching need for safety, in short, saving lives, must take priority. This thesis statement sets up the essay for discussing the strengths and weaknesses of the different perspectives in the 2nd paragraph, giving your perspective with some detailed examples in the 3rd paragraph, and concluding in the 4th. As before, you can organize your essay in other ways as well. The thesis must include an overview of how you're going to organize your response, incorporating the key elements from the passage and the essay prompt. Okay, let's move to step 3. Write the introductory paragraph for the SAT or the ACT essay. So write your introductory paragraph. Your first paragraph sets the context for the discussion. If your thesis statement is long, it could even be the entire paragraph. It serves as a preview for the essay and informs your readers what you're going to discuss. Do not use supporting details or examples in the first paragraph. Save those for later. Keep this paragraph on topic and global because it previews your essay as a whole, and incorporate your thesis statement. Step 4, write the body of the essay. It should flow seamlessly from your introductory paragraph. Each paragraph follows the organization you set up in your thesis statement. If you have a new insight or recognize a flaw in what you were saying, go ahead and make the changes you need. If necessary, you can even change your thesis statement. Remember, your outline is a guide, not a requirement. They are not going to see it. You can change it in any way you want. On both tests, you must include examples with some detail. Each paragraph begins with a topic sentence that captures the reader's attention. Avoid wordy introductory statements like, now I'll discuss, or the topic of this paragraph is. These are totally unnecessary, and they weaken your essay. The strength of your essay will be bolstered by how well you substantiate your points. Refer to the ideas in the passage. Remember, analyzing the passage is a major task of these essays. Incorporate transition sentences to keep the reader focused. Continue writing paragraphs until you have expanded each element in your thesis statement. Step 5, write the conclusion. Synthesize the points you've made, or conclude with a statement that points to the future and suggests further consideration. Your final paragraph may be short, but do not tell the readers what you told them. As I said before, or the main points of this essay are, or even to summarize. All of those are unnecessary. So now we've given you an overview of how you're going to go about organizing your essay response to the prompts and the passage that you're given. You're off to a great start. Let's turn and see what we can learn about the ACT prompt and the SAT prompt.